And before we go in, which is going to be extremely crowded, I want to give a sort of introduction. First of all, I don't know, but you can imagine that we step in on what is so-called the pelvis, which is the entrance. Underneath, there is the largest water accumulation or reservoir in Jerusalem. A huge one from the Byzantine era, from the 6th century. Unfortunately, we are not allowed to go there for years.
No, nagkakaya susuko ko bakayo o pagyaw o
We try, but we never. So first of all, second, when we were now it's blocked due to the collapse. We're still working on it. And anyway, the Holy Sepulchre Church is the holiest and the most important, significant church in all entire world. Why? Because three main things happened. First of all, Jesus was crucified. It was approximately 3 or 3:30 in the afternoon, Friday. As the Last Supper was Thursday, crucifixion took place in the afternoon, Friday. And because he was Jewish, and because it's before Saturday, it was necessary enough to take him off the cross before Shabbat. To be buried, of course, in the grave that was not his, as you know. Okay? Now, according to research, the research says that it took place most likely April 3rd, year 33, in the afternoon. According what we know, there was an eclipse back then. And it makes sense. Now, when he was on the cross, usually the Romans, first of all, the ones who used to be crucified were so many. Jesus was not the first and not the last to be crucified. It was a known punishment which was invented mostly likely in Central Asia, Persia and North Africa. It was adopted by the Romans. And they used to leave the crucified people, whether they were criminals or political criminals or others, they used to put them on the cross as a model for the others, as a warning. Don't do this, otherwise you're going to have the same. And they used to break their bones. But Jesus' bones were never broken. You know why? Why? Because, what? Because Jesus is the Lamb of God.
The Lamb of God.
Agnus Dei. He is the sacrifice of Passover. According to the Torah, it's not supposed to be broken. No bones should be broken. All complete. Now, so, the end of the Via Dolorosa brings him to where now is the Holy Sepulchre. Back then, it was out of the boundaries of the city. Never ever they used to crucify inside the city. It was outside. They had to go out of the wall and on the hill, which is called the Calvary or the Golgotha, this is where they used to crucify. Okay? There were many people who got crucified. And, okay, the story of how the true cross was found, I'll tell you inside. But then, due to all kinds of rumors, St. Helen, here approximately the very end of the 3rd or the beginning of the 4th century, she built the first initial chapel of finding the true cross will be there. On it, her son, Constantine, built the Holy Sepulchre Church, which didn't start from here. It started, you remember where we were, by the 7th station, a little bit up, started actually from east to west. This is south-north. This was east-west. It was that direction. It was a huge church. From there to here, in the middle there was a garden, as it's written in the New Testament. But later on it was destroyed. It was destroyed 1,000 years ago in 1009 by the fanatical Muslims, okay, and it was rebuilt slowly again, eventually by the Crusaders. So most of what we see, this is Crusader from the 12th century, okay, with the Crusader style, okay, and one entrance was blocked by Saladin in 1187-88. Okay, now, over there you see, this is an amazing story. You see the leather? We have the status quo. Okay? There used to be 6, now 5 different congregations. They are the Greek Orthodox, the Dominican, the Catholics, the Franciscan, the Armenians, the Copts, the Egyptians, and the Syrians. Used to be Ethiopians too. And each of them has his own area, his own territory. Nobody is allowed to touch even a millimeter of the other. They have their own time for services. And if anybody wants to have, let's say, construction or something, or rejuvenation, they have to have the agreement of everybody, which can take 50 years. It can take decades till they decide together. That's what happened, before the millennium. About 50 years till they decided to rejuvenate this site. And so anyway, in 1858, something happened. 1858. Usually, we have shift of monks staying for night. And usually the day after, the place is open. There's a special ceremony, because ever since hundreds of years, the keys to the Holy Sepulchre is in hands of a Muslim family, and the ceremony of opening is given to another Muslim family. Why Muslim? Because back then it was under Islamic ruleship. Okay? So, 2 Islamic Muslim local families are involved. At 3 in the morning, there is a ceremony. One monk takes the leather, puts the leather out, and the representative of the Muslim family comes with the key, gives the key to the other one from the other family, and he is open. Vice versa when they close. Okay? This way the key never gets lost. But back then, 1858, from some reason, nobody came to open the church. And the monks were stuck here for maybe days or weeks. No supply, no water almost, no food. They start to be in trouble. That's why they decided to do something. They opened the window, put the leather outside in order to ask for help. Ever since then, the leather from 1858, 160 years, is there. Nobody is allowed to touch it. There's only, I think, one case in the history that with agreement of everybody, it moved to the left side in order to clean, only. That's it. And it remained precisely to where it was 160 years ago. This is the story of the status quo of the Holy Sepulchre.